This is Brother Ron Hurd, also known as R2C2H2 Artist. You are watching We All Be TV, News Free Dixie for the 21st century. Can you dig it?
But I want to ask you, speaking of just us, your take on the fact that another grand jury in Mississippi could not bring an indictment against Carolyn Bryant Dunham. I guess that's the
Okay,
last
well, let
one.
me talk about that.
Mhm.
The elected district attorney in question is a black man.
Yeah, Dwayne Richards. Yeah.
The district wherein the grand jury was located, where they live. Think about it. Electing a black DA, you aren't exactly in a minority situation in that county in Mississippi, and there were black folk on that grand jury. They didn't do anything. But look at what happened with Breonna Taylor, where the feds are trying to get the Democrats are trying to get a few brownie points with black folk by implementing prosecution on the federal level against 3 of the white cops involved in the Breonna Taylor thing after they got acquitted. Now, if you can go after Breonna Taylor's
Breonna Taylor.
people involved on that, why the hell don't you go after the person who is directly the cause of Emmett Till dying? And see, Breonna Taylor was just sound asleep.
Right.
Breonna Taylor had got a problem where she let a thug use her address and phone number.
Mm-hmm.
She had another boyfriend there. The boyfriend, when the door came open, he acted under the castle doctrine and he fired shots. They shot at the police. He didn't hit anybody. They shot back at him. Fortunately, they didn't hit him, but the bullets went through the wall and killed sleeping Breonna Taylor. Right. Now, did you see that brother get prosecuted? No. The law was fairly applied to him under the castle doctrine. And a whole lot of woke black folk talk about castle doctrine isn't for black folk. There's a refutation right there. Now, there's all kinds of negligence, gross and culpable on the departmental level. But you're trying to scapegoat somebody here. I mean, they may find something on him, but if you're willing to go after these 3 now federally after they got acquitted on the state level, then what the hell is your excuse for not going after this woman for getting Emmett Till killed? Remember Medgar Evers?
Right.
Old white guy finally got put in prison, for killing Medgar Evers after he had escaped for decades. And this is in where? Mississippi.
I mean, you got a lot of. I mean, look, you got something that happened I want to say 5 years before Emmett Till in Attala County, Mississippi, back in 1950, where a black family was nearly massacred by a white man, a raving lunatic white man, and them white male jury sent him to prison for life, where he died some 19 years later in prison. And this guy almost killed a whole black family in the same county where Oprah Winfrey was born. But we don't talk about stuff like a year before Emmett Till, you had a black man in Mississippi killed 3 white men, including a sheriff's deputy, and never stood trial and was not lynched because the white part of his family intervened because he was named after one of the governors of Mississippi. His name was Eddie Knoll. He was a crack shot. That man could shoot a gun like nobody business. He used to shoot like cigarettes and matches out of his wife's mouth and combs out her hair. But they don't talk about those stories. Why we don't talk about that? You know, you don't know about Eddie Knoll, but you know about Emmett Till that happened the next year. You don't know about the Attala County massacre where the white dude actually went to prison for life. All white male jury.
You're worried about negligence rather than culpable murder.
Yeah.
And Breonna Taylor, rest her soul, but what the hell about Emmett Till?
I mean, they keep on saying it's not. It's so much evidence. She even contradicts herself. I mean, even an FBI investigator who talked to her back in the 2000s, he said there's enough new evidence now to get her indicted.
Well, look at this. Bill Cosby isn't much younger, but look what they did
And
with
he's legally
Robert.
blind. They said she blind and he got health
He's
problems and he
legally
was blind
blind,
and in his
but
80s
they
too.
went after him, and they are upset about the fact that justice got done. And you see, you have that judge who delayed 6 months in filing his necessary report so he could get in, and they ran by Dr. Cosby. Look, if you confess to doing this or admit it, we'll let you out on early parole. But he said, hell no. And I talked to him. He said, no, I'm not going to admit to something I didn't do. So he went on appeal. Why did he
Right.
went on appeal? Because we had a corrupt DA, just like we had in Memphis, just like we have so many other places in America, where the deal is they want to bend corners for a social agenda and to hell with justice and corrupt it for decades to come for our children, grandchildren, great grandchildren, and ourselves. The Fifth Amendment, I guess they didn't think about, because the DA said he has no liability for prosecution. There will be none. So the civil judge said, you have to give a deposition. And your Fifth Amendment claim no longer has effect since you are not subject to prosecution. Well, the new ass that got to office, who ought to be jacked up by the Bar Association for misconduct, decides to make an agenda call and say, we are not bound by my predecessor. We are going to prosecute him, and use what got produced when he was induced to give contra Fifth Amendment testimony at a deposition. See, it's crazy. You can't do that. And these clowns that are going, yay, it advances our cause. Be careful what you ask for, fool. You just might get it.
Yeah, because like it was 4 cops in Breonna Taylor case. Then you had the George Floyd situation where they got those cops as well too. They off the prison as well. And then what's
Yeah.
your take on? Yeah,
Why not this woman?
I agree because
Cosby was
yeah,
blind. She's blind. There's really little difference in age.
and she could get free medical care in
Somebody
prison,
here
like Marcia
says,
Byron said.
so what? She will get out of she will get free medical care in jail. Well, that's a consideration. You might be doing her a charity, but
I mean, she should die in prison, Judge. She should die. She should
that's
die
right.
dishonorable, a dishonorable death. That's what she
Dishonorably.
deserves. Because she lived a full
Uh,
life of this crap. She
yeah,
lived
she
her
got a
life.
full life.
Yeah,
So
three
poor
married
Emmett
3
Till
times,
didn't.
got
And
great
Emmett
grandchildren.
Till, and see, Emmett Till, unlike so many of the folk that we're holding up as poster children for us getting done wrong,
Right.
I was anxious to get that edition of Look magazine that my parents subscribed to so I could read what they told Look magazine after they got paid.
Mm-hmm.
And they talked about the Negro boy was disrespectful. He told us what we could do with ourselves even when we was beating on him. And we just decided to go ahead and kill him because he was a uppity Negro, etc. So I said, this young 14-year-old black boy stood up and acted like a man and said, F you, you racist dogs, to hell with you. And that's what they basically said he did, so they killed him. And the people we hold up as poster children, why did he get shot? Well, he ran from the police. Why did they shoot him when he was running? Well, let's back up. Why did he run from the police? Was he trying to do a getaway? No, he was scared. This 14-year-old boy wasn't scared. Okay, why did he do this? He was scared. This 14-year-old boy stood up and acted like he had cast iron balls. And you forget him? Oh, hell no. Was he a junkie and he got jacked up no, he was a brave 14-year-old boy. Was He's somebody that was mentally ill and got jacked up? No, he was a normal, healthy, brave young 14-year-old black kid. Now, why the hell are we not making him a hero and we lie about it when we got a gay rights bill that we got, well, not we, but they got through
You're
under
right.
the guise of being the anti-lynch bill? And I talked to Emmett Till's mother for about 9 or 10 hours on 2 occasions. Personally talked to her. And I talked to the family biographer who was identified as such to me by Emmett Till's mama and stepfather years ago. And both of them said it wasn't a lynching, it was a murder. So why isn't this Carolyn woman in a penitentiary right now, or at least awaiting trial? Well, she will get benevolent health care courtesy of the federal government.
That's
And
right.
she can die in the penitentiary where she belongs.
Well, Judge. Okay, I gotta ask you about the Ahmaud Arbery thing. Well, they sent their father and son team to life, and they're gonna spend the rest of their days in prison.
Yeah.
So, what's your take on that?
And that's in Georgia. And by the way, where do you think Stone Mountain, Georgia is located?
Outside
In the
Atlanta,
same
right?
county.
That's right.
And also, speaking of which, Cobb County, Georgia, which extends into metropolitan Atlanta, has some of the worst endemic racism apparent in the country when it comes to where black children and black parents are treated by that system, where guardianage, lights, custody evaluators, they are allowed to enrich themselves at the expense of black folk. And hell, they get more money for being, say, a guardian ad litem than the person's attorney does. And don't walk in there where you a black guy and the mama's a white woman, or a black woman and the daddy is a white guy. You are screwed and the children are screwed. There are all kinds of horror stories out of that. But nobody does your damn thing. So maybe the criminal justice system needs to be extended to looking at their own civil system. That happens.
Well,
I know
Judge,
years ago when I was practicing criminal law, if you wanted a habeas corpus heard fairly, you could pick any judge in the county. Never pick a criminal court judge back then, because with 1 or 2 exceptions, you weren't going to get a fair deal. You would always go pick a civil judge, because the civil judges had more life experience and tended to have more balls than the criminal court judges at the time. This is 40 some years ago. And you'd get fairness and justice. Now it's evened up. And I think we may have more black civil judges than we do white ones for the first time. And I know we have damn near as many women as we do men sitting on the bench after, well, will be sitting after this election. So it's some interesting changes.
I mean, Judge, definitely. I mean, it's a lot of things going on, like pros and cons and yin and yang. Yeah.
By the way, this here, I'm doing service and selling sauce.
That's
So
right.
it's JJB for mayor of Memphis, Tennessee in 2023. Send Brown downtown. And if you
That's
want
right.
the best sauce you've ever tried, Judge Joe Brown, JJB Barbecue, BBQ.com. You can order yourself some, and in a little while, it'll be on the shelves of your local grocery stores. So get a jump on the summer. It's some really good stuff. JJB, BBQ, and JJB in 2023 for mayor of Memphis, Tennessee.
That winning combination. Because that barbecue sauce is good, Judge. It goes good with just about everything and anything.
Yes, it does. French fries included.
everybody. This is Brother Ron. I am asking you all to do me a big favor. Think about supporting the We All Be movement. Your donation is tax deductible. The We All Be Group Incorporated is a recognized 501c3. And I'm just asking you all because I want to keep on bringing y'all quality work through the way that I know how to do best. And I'm going to sing my praises and toot my horn. A lot of y'all were not hip to Dick Gregory until Brother Ron brought him on the We All Be platform, until that Django review we did. Y'all seen another side of Judge Joe Brown, and Judge Joe Brown's message has been amplified. But it was We All Be that brought Judge Joe Brown to y'all back in 2014. And so many others. And we covered so many things. So help us out so we can help you all. Peace.